brand new episode of Fall in Love. Well, real life and real life stories, we have come across a lot of people life stories as such, but many of them think that whoever has joined hands in the real life from real life, their life is not that easy, but it's actually absolutely a false statement. Well, if you take a lot of pairs as such, for example Kajol and Ajay Devgan, it has been like more than 21 years of togetherness. Their lives did have ups and downs, but still they stay strong for various reasons. Well, there is a fact that at the initial stage of their career they both were dating different people, but then fate, or rather I would say that some goodness brought them together. They both are at the extremes. Ajay Devgan is totally an introvert, at the same time Kajol is an extrovert, and they didn't have a good chemistry while they were at the sets of Halchal, but slowly the story did change a lot. We'll be talking about their love stories and what exactly we can learn from them. Apparently, Kajol had confessed during one of her interviews that initially when she met Ajay Devgan, she did not like that person. In fact, she hated that person for the reason that he was sitting in a corner smoking, and he was just grinning at her. And at the same time, Ajay Devgan also didn't like Kajol for the fact that she was too bubbly and she was like yapping around at the set, and he didn't even want to talk to her. So the first sight itself did create a very bad impact on both of them. So see, there are a lot of stories in everybody's life as well. The first look or the first sight of love, that is all, like I would say that it's just fake. Well, there might be instances where as it goes on, first it will start with hatred and then slowly it will move on towards love. So Kajol's and Ajay Devgan's story. So Ajay and Devgan did meet during 1995, and slowly at that set it was a very negative impression. When they moved on to the next story, of course they did. Kajol in fact sought advice from Ajay Devgan for relationship advices, because she was in another relationship and of course he was also in another relationship. Slowly they were talking more about how to make a very good relationship, and they happened to understand they both share the same wavelength. So somewhere down the line they started a silent love between them. So it took like 4 years for them to actually understand what they were sharing each other was exactly the love. Well, it was very silent, nobody knew about it. Of course there were little rumors around, but they kept it silent because they wanted things to be very private, which I think our youngsters out there should learn. When it comes to relationship, try to keep it private than just bringing it out in the the crowd and telling that I'm in love with this girl and I'm going to marry her. No, it's always good to be silent and have it something in private. Well, as we all know, the blockbuster hit of Kajol was definitely Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. So in the year 1998, what happened was, during the shoot of Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Kajol met with an accident, a very serious accident where she lost her memory, a short-term memory loss, I would say, a kind of amnesia stage. So she didn't recognize anybody, she forgot about most of the things, whatever has happened in her life. And Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar was the only very close friends of Kajol then. So they called up Ajay and they said like, why don't you try talking to her and see. Well, to everybody's surprise, when Ajay did have a talk with Kajol, she slowly started to recover from her amnesia stage. So that itself is so touching, and you can understand the love that she had in her heart when it comes to Ajay Devgan. So slowly the relationship then became a talk in the Everybody did have this doubt whether these couple will get married, and they have proved everybody wrong. Well, they did get married in a Maharashtrian style, and what happened was, it was again a very simple marriage. They both took the decision. Now see, in relationship, when you take decisions together, that makes a huge impact. So they did take a relationship forward in such a way that they have an understanding where they respect both others feelings and emotions. So if Kajol thought that she wanted an extravaganza marriage, then things would have gone haywire. But they both shared the simplicity, they shared how life has to be simple, and they got married, they did tie knots. And the best fact is, till date they both have not told to each other I love you. So that's quite surprising as well. So they don't believe in gifts, they don't believe in surprises, they don't believe in investing on material things. All what matters is feelings for them. So I think that's a big lesson for all of us to learn, that you should have feelings rather than taking your girlfriend out and showing throwing money on all small things. More than that, understanding or getting to know the feeling of the other person. Now, love or love life is not about the time that you spend together before marriage. It is also a major factor after your marriage. Now, when Kajol and Ajay Devgan, after their marriage, even they compromised a lot of things, because Kajol was at the peak of her career where she just took a setback. She said, I'm going to dedicate my rest of my life for my family. I have to spend time with my husband. So she did setback, and of course with the support of her husband Ajay, she did come back to movies, but she didn't do like full-fledged movies. She had few filtration and selections when it came to movies as well. And she also made sure that she scheduled all her plans accordingly, giving priority to her family. Likewise, recently also, when her daughter during the pandemic time, she was in Singapore, she ensured that her son is with his father, and she went with her daughter because they didn't want to compromise on their studies. So this is basically what the understanding about these two pairs are. They take care of their family so much, they involve each and every small happiness within themselves rather than boasting it out, and they also ensure that their life is private and they don't want to bring everything outside. So these little things that which we could grab from their life is about the interviews that they have given, or rather things that happened in their life or highlights that that came out. So from this we can understand these real life and real life do have some sort of relationships. Well, Kajol and Ajay Devgan's life is definitely a very rare and a beautiful story to share. So I hope you all did get what the crux is all about. It's not about Kajol or it's not about Ajay Devgan. It's all about the love that they share and how they are taking their life forward. So completing more than 21 years in this glam world is not that easy. Well, we are wishing them all the very best, and we'll be winding up today's episode of Fall in Love. We'll be coming back with yet another celeb. Till we meet again, it's Cynthia signing off. Bye bye.